we're just going. I mean, this is how we're doing things from now on.
Yeah, I was
Raw dogging it.
Yeah, we're pretty much raw dogging it.
I think I've had a
Look,
sinus infection.
We went real
too.
structured when we started this thing.
We used
now
to
we
get
just-
5. We used to get 5 views when we started this thing.
Yeah.
Now we're getting 6.
Now we're getting like 1, maybe. So I figured we go back to what made us great.
Shenanigans?
My lighting's
Shenanigans,
not even
just
fixed.
drink a little.
How do I
What?
fix- Remember, she broke my light.
Oh yeah. Here we are. I'll do the intro, and then we'll just continue to ramble. Welcome to Frolic Harder, and welcome to Guess Who's Back? Back again. McRIB is back.
Is it?
Of course it is.
No, I don't think it's back.
Oh,
But I'm
We're
going to
back.
talk about the McRIB.
I
We're
can't
back.
eat that.
Why? Oh, do you want
Because
to
I'm
fill
an
everyone in?
unhealthy old guy. No. I still haven't talked to the doctor yet. Who knows how bad it is? I could be completely healthy and freaking out for nothing, but it's been 3 weeks and they haven't called me back. So, womp womp.
I thought you were going on this health journey because the doctor said you were not healthy.
Well, that's what my blood results said, but my like ultrasound to see if I have a baby or if I have fatty liver has not come back yet.
It's a burrito.
I also did a CT scan to see how unhealthily clogged my arteries are. I
How are
feel
those
fine.
looking? Did you not get results?
No, that was a week ago.
It's so bad they don't want to call you.
They're not going to call him.
I assume they're not calling me because it's not that bad, but I guess it could go the other way. I mean, doctors have become a lot more incompetent these days than they used to be.
It's either not bad, or this could be the last episode we all record together.
That's true.
I feel like I'd be feeling shittier if I was sick.
Maybe it's one of those like Kill Bill things. You got like 10 more steps in you, and then your heart explodes.
That's it, man.
Yeah, maybe Oliver hit me in the chest, did that like 5-finger death punch thing.
Yep.
The little one's been stomping on me. I've been feeling my arms a little tingly lately.
I had an infection in my testicle, and I'm pretty sure it's because he fucking jumped on it.
This is the content we're here for.
We should have led with this.
Like the doctor's just like, have you had trauma recently in your testicle? And I'm like, no, but I have a toddler who likes to just like play like trampoline on my nuts, so maybe.
Doctor's like, well, there's your sign.
Yeah, I have to go get that rescan too. Do you know how weird it is to have your testicle ultrasound? It feels so, they just goop like.
I was gonna say they still do the goop, right?
Yeah, and then the girl tries not to look at you while she's doing it, so it's
but
super awkward.
Is she looking you in the eye still, like the whole time?
No,
rubbing
dude,
your nuts.
I was staring at the
thing.
ceiling, trying to not make it weird. You know, you don't want to make eye contact. They're just doing their
job
next
time.
Just make it super weird.
They hand you a towel and they're like, "Oh, cover your penis up," and I'm like, "My penis is too small. Like, it's just kind of sits there." It's like right next to the.
If anybody's got a popsicle stick, we can cover it up just fine.
Yeah, there's nothing really to hide.
How big is the towel they hand you? Like, is it a little washcloth?
It's like a half of a napkin from In-N-Out with the cheese still stuck on it.
Whatever it was the one I had to wash myself off with. They're like, yeah, just rinse yourself off and like leave out the door. And I just like jumped up and like just kind of did like a quick wipe, you know, kind of like you do with your kid. Just like a quick, you know, you're not too messy.
Speak as a father. Have you I hope Brandon gets to experience this someday. Have you figured out how to like the best wiping method? Like it's one thing to wipe your own ass and ensure
I've
that
got
it's
that
clean.
down.
Yeah,
I'm good at that.
So
yeah, but when you're wiping someone else's,
well, you have an infant, and there's no good way to cleaning an infant because that.
Well, I think the infant's easier.
Really, it gets everywhere.
It gets everywhere, but it's easier to see.
Oh, because they lay down and shit. Okay, so my kid stands up and like, you know, he's too big for a changing table and stuff, and he's too lazy to lay down. So seems weird, but
too lazy to lay down. I'm like,
so you have to catch it first thing, right? Because at a certain point they start having more solid poops. So if you catch it right as they drop it, before like the diapers had enough time to compress it up against their asshole.
No.
Are you like predicting the future? Like, my kid's gonna shit soon. Go grab the gloves and just. Are you just like waiting under him? Like,
is that
this?
how you're doing it?
No. Well, I look for the face. He gets like this, like You know, kind of like he's pushing, right? Like he just kind of stops and
Veins are popping out in his temples and everything.
He's like super hyperactive, so he's always playing. So when he stops just out of nowhere and he's just standing there like still as a fucking just stands straight up and just like kind of looks at you with his squinty eyes. He's just like, and he starts turning a little red. You're like, oh, he's taking a shit. So I would just grab him, and like I usually let him stop because if I pick him up, he'll stop. And the little guy had some constipation issues, so I just need to let it flow. Prunes, dude. If you ever have any problems with the poopies, feed the kid a couple prunes or get him a little prune juice, and that shit will just come flooding out, dude. It's insane. But yeah,
see, Taco Bell's my go-to for that.
so are you talking about like the proper wiping technique?
Yeah, the wiping technique.
Oh, well, this leads into that. Okay, so if you don't catch it right away, it gets really messy. Like there's
my kid's done with the shitting himself. I mean, not the baby, but the older one.
Well, you're gonna have to deal with it again. We're supposed to start potty training this weekend. Actually, he's not 3 yet, but he's kind of been asking about it. So we're like, if you want to try it, you'll just run around naked. If you shit on the floor, it happens.
That's honestly the way to go. After a day, fine, we're good to go.
Yeah, so we're gonna give it a shot this weekend and see what happens. But so my goal is to get him from where he is to the diaper change as quickly as possible because it changes up the wipe technique, right? If he just drops like a hard deuce and you get to it fast enough, it's one wipe and you're done. Just one wipe from the taint up.
Yep, I'm just afraid that I'm missing something. Like it seems too clean.
So it's usually about a 2 to 3, right? And you got to kind of like use your middle finger to kind of just grace the little butthole. Yeah, it sounds weird, but you got to make sure you clean it because
it's how you would do yourself.
Yeah, it's exactly. You just got to make sure you get that little extra bit that kind of gets caught in the ridges, right?
It's like a Ruffles.
So I'd say on the cleanest wipe, it's a twofer, right? You start at the taint and you go up and you're like, okay, and then you fold it over and then you go again and you're like, clean, okay, sweet. Grab the second one, go from the left side of the balls up, go from the right side of the balls up, fold it, go from the middle balls up, right?
The fold is what everyone's missing. It buys you extra time.
You have to do the fold unless it's a really messy one. Gotta do the fold.
Are you do you go straight toilet paper now with the kid? Just regular?
No, not yet. Not until he starts pooping on a toilet. And I don't even
Matt's
know if I will
been pooping on a toilet for like 30 some odd years, and he's not using toilet paper either. So
we got shitty plumbing, so we if we use wet wipes that, it's gonna fuck it up.
My kid, we use the wet wipes. So at my mom's when he's staying over, he says, I tell Gram, get the good stuff. He doesn't use that. I told him make fun of her for being poor and using regular toilet paper.
I mean, maybe like when he starts using the toilet and stuff, we'll just put the diaper genie in the bathroom, and then we can use the diaper genie for wet wipes. Because I use a bidet.
Because this is my whole thing. Like babies, we use wet wipes essentially.
Mm-hmm. Well, they're fucking efficient.
Why do we downgrade when we grow up?
Well, I also have. We have a dry cloth, so we do dry cloth.
Baby.
Yeah, but you also had like a diaper to absorb the wet residue that was left, right?
You buy it.
Now the wet residue is going in the toilet.
No, you get a dry cloth. We spent like $20 on like a 100-pack of fucking like microfiber like cloths.
So you just do like
I remember those.
You got microfiber throwaways.
Yeah. So after I do the two wipies,
you're tearing down the microfiber forest by doing this, by the way.
My wife bought some like fancy ass soap. We have to do a special load of just microfiber things so that they don't get fucked up.
Goes to Lush just to watch the shit off the microfibers. Gets the expensive soap.
I don't buy this stuff. I just use it, and I'm a supporter.
He just does as he's told.
$37 for a brick this big of honeycomb soap, and he's wiping shit out of his diapers.
Well, the funny thing too is
that honeycomb soap.
These little ass drying wipes are the same wipes that we use to wash them with. Like they're multi-use. So like if it's not the one I'm using to wipe his ass, and I have another like group of them that we use in the bathtub to give him a little wash off. So it's kind of goes to like the dude thing when you use a towel. Like dudes only have one towel, so we're wiping our faces with our ass towel.
I look at it this way. Not that I would ever do that.
Walk out like this. It's a random Tuesday and you got pink eye.
Look, you're coming out of the shower. You should theoretically be at your cleanest point.
If you're coming out, if you're getting pink eye from fucking drying off after a shower,
it means you're not washing in the shower.
You are not washing well enough.
You know what the worst thing in the world is like when you go into the shower, you get all washed up, you feel great after. The second you step your 1 foot onto that shower mat, you're like, I gotta shit. That's the worst. It is the worst feeling in the world. Because you almost want to just get back in, right?
I've got my poop on a good. I've got a good schedule going. So unless I ate something wrong, it doesn't happen.
No, I mean most people would not do that right after they get out of the shower. But I was saying it has happened.
Yeah, you take you
re-shower.
Yeah, you get right.
Well,
or you become a fucking man and you buy a bidet and your ass is always squeaky clean.
Am I the barbarian here? You're like, I have a bidet. Matt's like, I use baby wipes on my man-grown ass. And I'm like, I just use toilet paper.
Having a fucking jet of water shoot up your asshole and then having a fucking hot fan dry it off. And then you use just 2 squares. That's all you need. 2 squares. Because you still want to use some toilet paper. You don't want wet butt. It doesn't dry it fully. 2 squares, and you go through, and it's completely
2 squares
white.
Of microfiber.
Microfibers,
it comes out completely white. Like, no fucking brown marker. No little extra pebbles from dingleberries. It's fucking pristine. That is why you get a bidet.
Get a long hose. I know you got a backyard. Run the hose up to your bathroom. Put that shower nozzle on the gun.
Yo, you're fucking
just
joking.
Turn it on jet setting. And just
no, I'm not gonna give myself an enema after I take a shit. It's just not gonna happen.
They have an enema setting and it works wonders.
I bet they do.
But beyond that, Matt's joking. But before we got the nice bidet, we kind of wanted to test it out. And they make a fixture that you split your water line. And it goes into a fancy little fucking.
That's the one I've tried. It comes out the little arm.
Dude, it's so good.
Producer Moo is the enema of the state.
Yo,
he is the enema of the state.
We bought kind of a fancy bidet, it has a seat warmer and the water's warm and it has a heat dryer and it has
You've got the Rolls Royce of pooping.
It has the coochie wash part. I don't know how it all works. I've never been able to actually see it functioning, but somehow it.
Have you tried it?
Not the coochie wash. That's for the wife.
No, I know, but
I think I accidentally
glance your balls.
No, yeah, I think I accidentally hit it once because I was like, this doesn't feel right. My nuts were just getting shot with the jet.
It's like when you're standing under a mister at Disneyland on a 95-degree day.
Right? Yeah, exactly.
That's it. That's the trauma to your balls right there.
No,
the coochie spray.
When you've been having you ever just have one of those poops where you're kind of on the fence if you need to take take some medicine for it or not, you're just that constipated. You're just I kind of feel like it's right there.
No, dude, Taco Bell that just cleans the system.
I've had it sometimes it's just right at the back door and you're just I can't get it out and it just won't come. You get that fucking enema setting and it just shoots right up your butthole some water.
Gets behind it and
swirls it around a little bit. It
feels punches it out.
Yeah, exactly.
Next thing you know, you're shitting out water and all the poop just floods right out. It's amazing.
I don't know if you remember this, Producer Moo. By the way, my name is Matt, joined by my co-host Brendan, the illustrious Moo Man himself, Producer Moo.
Moo.
This episode is actually about the McRIB. We'll get there later.
I was just going to say, we should just rename this Deuces.
The McRIB can give you some pretty bad shits.
It can. Do you remember the old office we worked at, inventory control? Do you remember the big kind of craze in that office was someone found the Chinese pooping tea?
Yeah. I remember that. It didn't work for me.
Does it not work for you?
I remember.
I cracked that. I cracked that open a few times a year.
We drank it in the office, and it never worked.
It did nothing for you?
No.
So I do it the night before. It kicks in the next morning.
Ooh.
It'll flush you out, Mount. Let me tell you.
But I do remember that because we were
all those elderberries, man.
We got really big
elderberries.
If you're looking for a good time,
it didn't work like I'd hoped, and it's got kind of it's got a really strong taste.
Yeah, it's not great. It's not great.
But yeah, we got into tea for a while there.
The McRIB.
The McRib is delicious. What are you fucking talking
Oh my.
blasphemy?
Okay. Let me get through this, and then we're gonna chat. So, since it has been a while since we've done this, and we're back, I started thinking back into the past. When I met my wife, I was living in Woodland Hills, living in Oxnard. Everyone can just Google that drive. I don't want to explain it.
Just
So
the
every
grade.
day, yeah, driving back,
It sucks.
yeah, it does suck. We would see a billboard that the McRib was back. So it just became a joke. We always say the McRib is back. We surprise each other, even though it's not. I was thinking about the McRib. How did this thing start? I had to know. You want to know?
I want to know.
Okay.
I
So I found
have
this
no idea.
a nice Thrillist article written by Caitlin Hitt. Great name. So this all started back in the 1960s at a military research base in Natick, Massachusetts.
At a what?
Military base. Research center on a military base.
Sounds not like where I would have expected that to come
Right.
from.
This is where it all started.
It's
Secret
alien
origin.
meat.
Secret origin.
That's getting real
So these
popular right now.
scientists all got together. They had a goal to make the greatest invention the world has ever seen, change human history by creating restructured meat.
Restructured.
Is that just like ground
Restructured
up
meat.
and like put back together?
Yeah. It's
Why do
usually
they have to break it down just to put it back together? Why don't we just get like rib meat, put it on a sandwich, and call it good?
Because you don't have any
because
bones.
you're already using the rib meat for something else, something delicious.
Are you about to tell me that the McRib isn't even rib meat?
Of course, it's not rib meat. I mean, it's McDonald's, man.
I
It's
choose
probably
to
like
believe.
it's probably like hippopotamus meat.
I believe.
So what it
Hippos
is
are tasty as fuck.
The beef
it's
of the
just
lake.
it's discarded but edible meat parts.
So it's dog food?
But edible.
But it's edible. She made, you know,
Like, do you
she wanted to
If that's the
emphasize.
baseline of running a major multi-billion-dollar company, like we serve food that we consider edible. Like
there's a lot of edible food. But do you want to eat it?
It's edible.
I'll reassess this after we're done talking about this.
Yeah, so it's the parts all mashed together, usually in a log of sorts, a meat log, like your spams,
Like
your
a hot
deli
dog.
meats, a hot dog, exactly. So the purpose of this was they were working on for the military to create MREs, which producer Moody, remember what MRE is?
That makes sense.
Meal ready to eat.
Yeah.
So this is for the military, something quick to have in the field. That's what they were making this restructured meat for primarily. Eventually, their great work found its way the common man in fast food. And so 10 years later in the 70s, there's a professor named Roger Mandingo. Incredible name.
That is a good name.
Worked at the University of Nebraska, and he started putting together, he wanted to make like a pork chop kind of deal with scraps and using meat proteins to get everything to stick together.
Edible protein parts.
Edible protein parts. He wanted to make a pork patty. That was, I don't know why. That's what he wanted to do with his life, was make pork patties.
Wanted to be an innovator.
So he succeeded. And not long after, Ray Kroc, the man who, pretty much founded, he didn't found McDonald's, but he took it to where it is now.
This is the one that the founder was based on, right?
Yes.
With
Great
Michael
movie,
Keaton?
by the
Yeah.
way. Yeah. Love that movie. He found out about this and then sought out the help of Rene Arend, who was a classically trained chef from Luxembourg. And he told him he wanted to use some of this restructured meat, get something on his McDonald's menus.
Imagine you're a classically trained chef and you're just going to go and restructure pig parts into a patty of meat for McDonald's.
Oh, he didn't jump straight into the pig parts. You start with the lowly, humble chicken. In the early 80s, this is how the Chicken McNugget came to be. So this classically trained chef invented the chicken McNugget for McDonald's.
The pink paste.
Yeah, and it was so popular when it debuted, it actually triggered a nationwide shortage of chicken meat.
They are delicious.
Great success.
It's real chicken. It's just reprocessed.
It's
real
edible.
Chicken.
It's edible chicken parts in a nugget.
It looks like white meat sometimes.
Sometimes it does. Most times it does, actually. It's just...
I think good etiquette around chicken nuggets is to not look at it when you eat it.
Just dunk it in the buffalo sauce and eat it.
Yeah, it's either... Usually you should
Buffalo
go for the
for
one
you?
bite.
Barbecue.
Favorite sauce? Barbecue? I'm a
Yep.
sweet and sour guy.
Oh, we got the trifecta going.
See, I could
Look
do
at
the
us.
buffalo, but I hate the sweet and sour.
Really?
Yeah. Do you remember when they had the like fancy like chicken strips? They had a really
Yes.
good they had a good ranch during that time. That was pretty dope.
I love a good ranch.
Can never go wrong.
No, you can't.
I've never been a ranch guy.
No?
Never. No.
Like
Why?
a buttermilk?
Look, there's a lot of people eat like hot wings with ranch, right? They got chicken nuggets with ranch. The only thing I really do with ranch is like if I'm eating like a carrot stick or something or a celery stick, I'll dunk it in some ranch and eat it. That's it though. I don't put it on anything else really.
Yeah, you're not like a pizza dunker?
No, God no.
Some people go wild with that.
That ain't right, man.
But you have to have the right ranch though. You can't just have cheap shit ranch that they usually give
Got
you
that
with
Hidden
it.
Valley.
Yeah, you gotta have the good expensive stuff. Or a
wherever
blue
they got a
cheese.
Topper's pizza.
A bleu cheese.
I like blue cheese. I like a
bleu
good stinky
fromage.
cheese. No?
I don't like blue cheese.
You're out on the blue cheese too?
No, I like a lot of cheeses. I mean, I like strong cheeses, but there's something about eating intentionally mold cheese that doesn't sit right with me.
All cheese is mold, dude.
Also true.
No, that's got blue mold on it, man. That's visible.
It's just everything. But literally, cheese is made from mold.
I said no.
Then don't eat cheddar. Don't eat
No,
Swiss.
I like cheddar.
Do you know
I don't like blue cheese.
Do you know how the holes are made in Swiss?
Do you know the words that are coming out of my mouth? I like cheese. I don't like blue cheese.
But you said mold cheese. It's all mold.
Blue mold is not
like cultures. Is how they make it.
Sir, we're not doing this right now.
It's not black mold, and there's different types of black mold. It's not the deadly black mold.
I don't like blue cheese. I need it. That's it. I'll eat the cheddar. I'll eat the mozzarella.
I've been going down a rabbit hole of how they make fancy cheeses, and the blue cheese one was probably one of the best ones to watch. Wow.
I like Swiss.
You know what? You know how the holes are made in Swiss?
Air pockets.
Air pockets made by little fucking critters that are eating the cheese.
That's fine. They're gone by the time the cheese is on my plate.
Those little air pockets are basically their farts.
That's perfectly fine. It's not blue cheese.
It's some other type of bacteria. I don't know.
It's going down.
Did you know that modern Swiss cheese is so like cleanly made that they had to like figure out what made the holes in Swiss cheese so that they could add it back in because Swiss cheese wasn't having holes anymore because it was like the clean rooms that like the material was so perfect.
Less holes means more cheese. I'm good with it either way.
But no,
that's a good point.
Where they make it in like, is it
Switzerland?
Is it? I don't know.
Swiss
cheese?
They call it Swiss, but I don't know. Right. I heard that they don't even like it that much, but because it's like kind of plain. But where they make it, they like got the ingredients and it's so clean that they had to like go back and deconstruct old Swiss cheese to figure out how the holes were made so that they could reintroduce that in because the holes was like it's a requirement of Swiss cheese. It's good shit.
Confirmed. Swiss cheese from Switzerland.
Well, there you go.
Had to look it up.
Then it's Suisse.
Central Switzerland.
Suisse fromage. That's Swiss cheese in France. French.
In France.
That's France for Swiss cheese.
Toi petit cochon.
I don't know what the hell you just said. Did you call me small?
No, I did not.
Oh,
okay. I did say small or little. I said, yeah.
Tiny.
I said 3 little pigs.
That's rude. Me and Brendan are not little.
There's 3 of us.
Well, only one of us here is little.
We're just pigs.
2 pigs and a cow.
I'm a cow. Yeah. Moo.
That's
I
like
digress.
what was that show with Charlie Sheen? It was 3.5 Men, just 2 pigs and a cow instead.
2 pigs and a cow.
Mm-hmm.
We're relaunching the pod.
New podcast name: 2 Pigs and a Cow.
2 dudes, a cow, and a pizza place.
Baby shit and Swiss cheese.
Swiss cheese and reconstructed animal parts.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Speaking of which, those nuggets made McDonald's a lot of money, obviously.
Well, hell yeah, they're probably the best thing there.
So Mr. Croc went back to his boy R-End.
Have you ever had the fries without salt? They taste like shit.
Why would you do that?
Why would you? Yeah. Why?
The only thing good about McDonald's is salt.
Yeah.
So
I mean, that's pretty much all restaurant food.
Right.
I'm just
salt
saying
and butter.
that you can't say their fries are delicious. It's not the fries that are delicious. It's
McDonald's salt is fantastic. Let me tell you.
I agree, 100%.
Chef's kiss.
They have good salt.
Anyway,
I hope it's that pink Himalayan shit.
it's not.
I'm sure it's not.
I have some of that in my pantry. I don't use it.
It's delicious.
But
we got to get back on the nugget train.
Yeah,
it's fine. Pretty well fancy salt. I like a good Maldon.
Nice. Yeah. It's kind of weird though. All salt tastes like salt.
It does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But some salt is better.
Like kosher salt that's been blessed by a rabbi.
The best salt.
That's right.
It's holy.
Anyways.
Yes.
Ray Kroc. Chef R-End. He wants a beef alternative to the nugget.
Mm.
So our chef friend goes out to South Carolina and he's just eating barbecue, just nonstop, falls in love with like pork ribs and all that. This is where his idea comes. He wants to make pork rib sandwich, but not just any. You can't just make a little patty. Dumb. He asked his R&D team, you're going to make this thing look like a rack of ribs. And they worked on it for 2 years. In 1982, the McRIB made its debut in these fine United States of America. Yeah. Stop. But you know, the fancy American palate did not understand this vision. They lacked vision.
We are very upscale people here.
This thing
very refined.
It's all about the barbecue sauce.
Yeah, this thing was a flop. It was known as the McFlop amongst circles.
So it wasn't at this point seasonal? Like they just kind of like full on like
this
everybody
on the
here's
menu.
the McRib. Oh.
Yeah.
Permanent staple.
Yeah, and that was in 92. But by 1983, the McRib started, slowly dropping off of menus everywhere. And then, it would sometimes come back, sometimes disappear again. No one really knew why.
There was no schedule for these things.
No schedule. It's kind of in this pattern.
Yeah, it's not like the Shamrock Shake.
Mm-mm.
Yeah. So people started, there's two main theories about this. The first is that McDonald's just wants you to believe that these are in high demand so that when you see it come back into the store, you're rushing out to get it. The second theory is that they're waiting for pork prices, even though they're just getting the cheap scraps, to hit lows for the year, at which point they'll start buying all these pork scraps and then making the sandwiches so they can have the highest profit.
If it comes around every time swine flu hits.
There you go.
We know.
There we go.
Offload a bunch of pigs and you get a bunch of like infected pigs.
Yeah. So that was kind of how the McRib went for the rest of the 80s. And then I'm sure you guys will remember this. I believe after, kind of doing some research, we lived in the golden era of the McRib. We were there for its pinnacle. So in the 90s, it came back full time. And this was because it was tied to the Flintstones movie. You guys remember when this happened?
I do remember. That was the one with John Goodman.
The one with John Goodman where we got all the
that's right.
The fancy like glass souvenirs and
it wasn't No, it wasn't Dan
Flintstones,
Aykroyd.
vitamins.
Who was the dude that played Barney? He was famous too.
Rick Moranis.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, that was a good cast.
Yeah.
Oh, wasn't Roseanne before she was crazy?
Yeah, she played Betty.
Yeah,
Betty Rubble.
I don't remember who was Wilma.
Me
some
either.
lady. She was
Some
hot
lady.
and
Some
redheaded.
lady.
Some redheaded lady. Probably wasn't even redheaded.
Wait, it wasn't Roseanne. It was Rosie O'Donnell,
Yes.
That's what it was. Yep.
and
Yep.
she was thinner than she was in her show.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so 90s, McRib comes back full time. Thank you to the Flintstones for that.
Hell yeah,
And
dude.
it kept on until the early 2000s. The McRib fans are stoked. They've got consistency in their lives. They got something to look forward to. And then in 2005, McDonald's said they were going to send McRib on its farewell tour.
They lied.
And between 2006 and 2008, the McRib retired on more than one occasion. Briefly returned in 2012, kind of to a full-time schedule.
Wait. Can we just accept the fact that the McRib is the Tom Brady of the fast food world?
Yeah, I just won't fucking
Yeah,
retire.
it retires,
It just won't go away. Yeah, exactly. It just won't go away.
Yeah. It'll live forever.
Right.
Yeah, so 2012 it comes back, leaves again. 2020 they thought it would be a fantastic year for the McRib to return, so it came back a little again. I really don't remember a lot about that year. I try not to. And that's kind of where we are with the McRib right now. We're on a little hiatus.
Quarantine was my favorite time in my entire life.
This world pandemic was the best 2.5 years of my life.
Yo, I did not get sick for 3 fucking years until they started doing like no more, like you're fine to go out into the world. And when that happened, I just get sick every month. It's the
It's because your
worst.
immune system's wrecked.
I would like to be locked back in my house and safe again.
It's probably
So I'm
because
saying, man, I went to a concert last week.
Did you get sick?
I died.
Yeah, dude, you can't go out in public anymore. Everybody just has super bugs fucking floating in them.
I went to a Blink concert with Brandon once, and I also got sick.
You got the swine flu.
I got the swine flu.
See, I went like last week, and I got the Blink flu.
That's a thing.
It's a thing,
dude.
man.
I won't do any of those big public things anymore.
You know, with you though, it's probably you're flushing out all your good antibodies with that friggin' jet and shooting up your asshole.
Yeah, that's right, man. Your system cleansing your whole immune system, and you're
flushing
washing
too
away.
much out.
I take probiotics to help with that. Not
And
going
you're flushing them out.
And you're flushing them right out, man.
It's not going into my tum-tum. It just goes into my large
shoving
intestines.
water up your ass and rinsing all of the probiotics right out of there. You're pulling. You're going in and pulling out. You're not letting it work.
You, mister, who doesn't use wet wipes, I bet you spend fucking 3 to 4 times more on toilet paper than I do.
Yeah, probably. But you know what I don't have? A problem with my probiotics getting washed out of and sucked out of my asshole.
You're the one person in this chat right now that is currently sick.
That is true. Has nothing to do with what I do with cleaning my butt.
I don't usually get tummy flus. I get colds and shit.
Well, then he says tummy. He's always done that.
Double guts.
I love that.
Yeah, man. That hurts your tum-tum.
All right. So we're done with the history of the McRib. Let's talk about this because it sounds like we have a fan in our midst.
What? I dig the McRib.
Are you a fan of the McRib?
How can you not be? I think it's the sauce. And it's the
I hate
presentation.
The sauce.
Really? But he eats his chicken nuggets with barbecue sauce, so it makes sense.
It's not the same barbecue sauce, though.
It's a sweeter sauce.
I think if it was the other barbecue sauce, I think I would have liked it.
Imagine going through the drive-thru and you're like, "Can I have the barbecue sauce, or can I have the McRib barbecue sauce?"
Don't dip the McRib in the McRib sauce. Give me the other one. Give me a naked McRib.
So you think the barbecue sauce and the McRib are not a good married couple?
I think
they need to see other sauces.
I think it's a sweeter sauce because the McRib itself is a saltier, pork saltier than most things. So like you have a sweeter sauce to have it. I don't know. It's probably all a lie. And I haven't had a McRib in a long time, so my palate has changed significantly
Maybe
over the
it just
last few
like
years.
they need a hit of like Worcestershire sauce in there just to salt it up a little bit.
Oh
Maybe.
God, have you gone down the rabbit hole of how that shit's made?
Yeah,
It's like aged for like 20 years, and
yeah.
it's just
It's like
sardines and
anchovies and
shit.
stuff.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah, like
Yeah.
sardines, whatever it is. Yeah,
Delicious.
it is. It's absolutely glorious.
Especially in a michelada.
Oh,
Say
son of
you
a
and your
bitch.
micheladas.
I haven't had one of those in a while. This weekend. We'll make it happen.
Got to do it.
You doing, Moo? You dead?
He just froze.
My
He's
kid was
dying.
my kid was trying to escape, and then Pay Wubby Money is watching 90 Day Fiance right now. But I was just asked if I could go check to see if he pooped, but then I just noticed my wife is checking to see if he pooped.
It all leads back
Did someone
to the
catch it?
What? The poop? Probably
Yeah.
not. No, I think he's just trying not to go to sleep.
That's fair.
He,
That's
he figured out
understandable.
he's figured out how his light switch works. So he just climbs out of bed. We had to put a lock on his door so he can't escape.
You lock your kid in his room.
Fuck yeah, I do. He's safer in there than he is roaming the house.
It's funny.
Yeah,
He can
that's
he
true.
can open he knows how to open the front door now, so he knows how to get through all the locks. So we had to get like a top latch lock.
The deadbolt?
No, not he can open the
Oh,
One of
the
those
deadbolt.
sliding
chain?
things.
Yeah, you have like a sliding little like bolt thing
Yeah.
that it goes up high now, so he can't like actually get to it.
Wow.
But the little shit, he knows how to pull things to stuff to climb. So he's not really far away from like being smart enough to grab his stool from the kitchen that he cooks with like grandma and me with, and using that to potentially get up to the top and like climb up and get that. So yeah, the little fucks, he's locked in his room when at bedtime and during nap time and stuff.
Kid's doing a
He's
hard
evolving.
time.
I told him if he stops trying to get out of his room, I wouldn't have to lock him in there. But he scares the shit out of me because he's like me. He's gonna go fucking stick a fork in a plug or something when he's like
He's like me. He's gonna go stick a fork into a plug. Does this need further explanation too?
he's a curious little guy. I've never done it, but I've thought about it.
Those intrusive thoughts, like what happens if I do this?
Well, now I'm old and I know, but when I was a kid, I definitely thought about
Have you ever
that.
done it?
No.
How do you
No,
know?
I've electrocuted myself before, but not
This
because of
reminds
that.
me. Shout out to my wife. So when we used to travel for work, I was at a little gift shop, and I think I was in the Spokane airport, and they had little toast tongs, little wooden toast tongs you used to grab toast out of the
Oh,
toaster.
fuck, you can't grab toast out of the toaster with your fingers?
Well, you know,
It
sometimes
pops
it
up and
goes.
out.
Sometimes it gets stuck down.
You just
It's like
shove your fingers in
You've
there.
got specific toaster
So
tongs. for
one
this.
morning, well, this is why I bought them.
You got
One
two
morning, I
hands,
saw
two
her
fingers.
over there with a metal fork trying
Whoa.
to trying to pick it out like it was a game of Operation.
I mean,
You're like, this can't end well.
do
Shout
they
out,
heat up?
Lindsay.
Do they heat up?
Toaster
'Cause
fork.
they heat up from the coils, right? But the power, she would have to hit one of the sides to actually get a jolt, right?
Yeah, that's why I
But
said
it's
like
still
Operation.
possible, yeah.
That's funny.
You sneeze and you're, you know.
Right?
You ever accidentally put a fork or spoon in the microwave? That's fun.
No, but I have put
Tinfoil.
I have accidentally included foil in the microwave
Yeah,
once. Yeah,
I've
I
done
think
that
we've all
accident
been there.
once.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, I've like prepped like tea, like water, and I was too lazy to actually like boil it or whatever, and you know, like put like whatever in it and stir it up, and then you put the mug in there. Forget the spoon, and you just start seeing little sparks and like
Yep.
pops, and you're like, oh fuck.
Could see that happening.
It's good times. Don't leave
It's
it
the
in
best
there
of
too
times.
long. You'll lose your microwave.
It's true.
Yeah, you don't want
Okay.
that.
So I am a fan,
Okay.
but I haven't had one in years. So in my older age, with my refined palate and the fact that I eat healthy now, I might not like it because I don't eat McDonald's very frequently, and every time I do, I just think it's really salty and it has no other flavor.
Salt is a
Yeah.
flavor.
Yeah. It is a flavor.
I have to
You're
get
tasting the flavor they want you to taste.
I have to get
Right.
no salt on it. Do you know they add salt to like the burgers? Like you have to actually, if you ask for no salt, they won't put salt on your burger.
Then it's not McDonald's anymore. You're there for a coronary, not
I have to
not to be healthy.
because it my livery thing. I definitely am not. I don't have a healthy liver. but my liver should be reversible. So I got to cut out all the bad foods and all the salt.
You can get a liver transplant anyway.
What's your water intake like?
Apparently, most people that need a liver transplant, by the time they can actually get it, as in they're like dying and they need it, you don't get a liver in time. So you just die.
I mean,
you just
you
get on the
don't need
list
a
now?
full liver. Yeah, you need like a partial transplant because it'll like your liver will regrow, man.
We're in
It
America.
does that.
Insurance won't pay for it unless you require it.
I got a wife that works doing this exact job. You could do it.
Doing what? Repairing livers or
Transplants.
ask her
That's
to
what she
put me
does for
on
a
the
living.
list.
She tests for transplants.
Well, yeah, that's testing. Yeah, there's always probably livers available, but I can tell you right now, my mom
No,
needs
we
a
got
liver.
he's saying we got the hookup for you.
Well, let her know my mom needs a liver. She's catastrophic or tonic or whatever. It starts with a C.
Tonic.
I don't know. Her liver's so bad that it's irreversible, and she'll basically she'll eventually need a transplant before she fucking kicks the bucket. But
Well,
the likelihood of her getting it, from what her liver doctors told her, is not always high. So, just know that when the time comes,
get on that transplant list, man.
she's on a transplant list. It's not like they just like move you up to the front. Like
You should just give her
Give her yours.
part of your lung, man. You don't need it anymore.
yeah,
Yeah.
she wants a non-functioning liver.
You said you could
We're talking
fix
about livers, not lungs.
I can fix it. It's not fixed yet. Gotta work on it. I'm only on
Mm.
week 4 of my workout.
it. Hurry up.
Yo, I got 3 miles in. Bitches.
I know you did. Look at you.
Yeah,
This is the way.
This is the way.
it is nice. Are you gonna get on that treadmill kick there, Brennan?
I have a bike, a stationary bike. Don't have a treadmill though.
We'll use your bicycle.
Stationary bike's good for Brandon. We don't want him.
Oh, you got like bad knees and stuff, yeah.
I have, yeah. If I'm
Your legs are
3
all
steps
fucked.
away from those things turned into dust. Just step done.
I told you he needs that Batman bionic knee thing.
I really do. I would love like an exoskeleton for my legs.
I'll give you my knees as a transplant. Then I'll have an excuse.
You guys can do a swapsies.
Yeah, give me your knees and I'll give you part of my liver and we'll both see each other on the other side.
You can't take
Look
my
at
whole
that.
knee though. I need parts of it. So you
Okay,
need
like
partial.
you can live without
like,
ACLs.
Maybe like
I'll trade
one
you.
of my knees.
That's fair.
Can
I
you
only
both
got one
ACL?
bad knee, man.
Oh, there
There
you
I
you
go.
only
go.
need one.
ACL for like half a liver.
Honestly, if you could get me some fancy blades and I could be like Blade Runner, like you can just have my legs.
That'd be pretty sweet.
A whole leg?
Dude, you see those fucking
You could be
bouncy
like-
ass little blades?
You could be like, just give him like from the knee down. You could be like Cotton Hill.
or I want to be like the chick.
Staple my feet to my kneecaps.
No, I want swords in them, so I could be like that chick from that movie.
Kingsman, the second one.
Yeah,
Mm,
with
yeah.
freaking what's his face? Yeah, that's good shit. I want swords.
Wait, that was the
Sword legs.
That was the
Or was
first
that
one.
the first one?
That was the first
Was
one.
it the first one?
It
Okay,
was one
first
of
one.
them. Yeah.
Second
one
one
of
was
them.
Elton John with the robotic dogs and
Oh yeah.
the person meat grinder. He was
Yeah.
grinding up all the people and making burgers out of them.
And then the third one
That's
went
good
into a
stuff.
completely different like.
The third one was Booty.
It was more like a
With
prequel.
Rasputin.
The
Yeah.
Rasputin?
Okay, so you guys are haters of the McRIB, yes?
Yeah, I don't like the sauce.
Look,
And the texture was a little weird.
Thank you.
I haven't had a McRib in decades, admittedly. Haven't had one since probably high school, middle school. So
They've only
it's
been out for decades.
It's been too long.
Been too long.
And it
They've
just
been
doesn't
plaguing
really
this
jump
world.
out to me.
Yeah.
I wonder
I'd
what
rather
the
have
original
some-
McRib tastes like.
I'd rather have some McNuggets or what?
That's all the
We've
stuff he
lost-
cleaned out of his butt with that with that bidet over there.
This show has lost all standards. All standards.
We're
Pudding.
eating Jello in the middle of the show now.
It's pudding.
Jello pudding.
Yes, pudding.
This is usually my wind down time, and this
Give
is
me my
one-
snack pack.
This is my treat.
Your snack pack.
Well, this is perfect.
That's what it looked like. Hey,
I don't have a game today.
why don't you like the McRibs? I told you
ju-
why I
don't,
do.
I don't like the sauce, and I don't like the texture of the fake meat.
Looking at it just doesn't look appealing to me.
You're not. It's like the freaking nuggets. You don't look at it. You just eat it. It's
No,
McDonald's.
you have to look at it.
You gotta look at the McRib. It's pre-sauced, man. You gotta know what you're dealing with.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like ribs that
It's
were
pre-sauced.
compressed in like a machine.
You should slightly fear it because you're not supposed to eat the rib bones when you have ribs. So
Right.
I don't know why they had to include the ribs.
It's in the shape of a rib.
I know, but if you're eating ribs, you're not eating the bone.
You never suckled on the rib juices at the end.
Even if you do, you're not eating it.
Right.
I mean, it's like
I can be
pre-chewed
judged
meat.
by man eating pudding on camera.
It's like pre-chewed meat, you know, like it's already ready to go.
I can eat
One day you will.
No.
Like
I'll
Spam
die
is the
first.
closest. Like, yeah,
That's true. Spam is
I
as far
don't
as I'll go.
see, and I don't
is
eat
good.
Spam. I think Spam is shit.
so good.
I'm with you on this one, Matt.
It's so good. I can't help it.
Throw it in a saucepan, grill it up, man. Spam and eggs.
This is gonna be our shortcut out.
Yeah, we're
blessed.
We're
We're blessed to live in a time like this.
You gotta get it all, dude. I can't eat this type of stuff regularly. This is my treat. Look, now I don't have.
He loses all the producer Moo fans. This is when they're gone.
It's gone.
Nah,
this is where he loses them all.
I love you guys, and I hope you love watching me eat. I didn't even make any slapping noises, and look, I don't even have to do dishes now. Clean as a whistle.
He's gonna put that right back in his drawer for someone else to use.
There's only 3 other people in this household, so there's a quarter. There's 1/4 the chance that I'll get it back.
And that's a chance that I'm willing to take for everybody else. I'm afraid to go to producer Moo's house and just playing Russian roulette with all the silverware there.
Make it exciting.